We're ready? We're ready?
Binge
We're ready.
Buddies After Dark.
I know. Nothing I can do about it. It's just my voice.
Jesus Christ.
All right, we're starting. So welcome to Binge Buddies, Homicides, Hooters, and Hockey Master. Me, your host, always, Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is Matt, Zombie Dog, Fence Post, Dykes.
Now, is that the fence post from 6, which is used to revive him?
In the photo, it's the fence post from 6, yes.
Nice. I'll take that. I both kill and bring back to life.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm an all-round fence post.
We also have Joel, Tree Trimming Saw, Dewitte.
What now?
You're a tree trimming saw.
You're one of my favorite weapons that did
You're
not
the
make
giant circular saw on a long stick from 7.
Well, that's very nice of you, Brian. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And not to oh my gosh, this is gonna be a rough couple of podcasts. My throat does not want to cooperate at all. Last but not least, we have Ryan Uber Machete Lootens.
Uber Machete.
You're the Uber Jason's Machete.
You gave me a piece of shit weapon from X.
A piece of shit film.
I don't know what you're talking about. That machete's awesome. It's got a cool angle to it.
And a pointless hole in the middle of the blade.
That's like Michael getting the long ass knife in Halloween 6. We'll just make it longer. It's fine.
On Screen Rant, they say it's one of the best weapons. So according to Screen Rant, I gave you a very nice compliment.
That's your fault for trusting Screen Rant because we all know how far they go.
Hey, they have those pitch meetings that are funny. That's about all I got.
I mean, what point lengthwise does a knife become a sword?
12 inches. I have no idea.
I feel like this is the sort of you'll know it when you see it. Thing.
Yeah, like at what point, did Sting become a sword instead of a knife? We don't know.
I just watched all
the size of the wielder.
Yeah, when a Hobbit picked it up, suddenly it's a sword. Yeah, I just watched all the Lord of the Rings movies. I didn't watch the Hobbit movies, but between the two of us, we got the whole thing covered. All right, so I hope everyone had a really good break. I know we did, except for the fact that you can hear it in my voice apparently very well. I have COVID now, but thanks for quarantining. I can still record podcasts. It just sound a little different. But yeah, so hopefully we didn't take too many weeks off. I know we ended right before the very last episode, which is a little bit of a weird thing to do, but we did it. And we're back.
Gave you a Christmas present.
We did on Christmas Day. It came out, and I was very happy about that. But now we have to finish up this series, and I'm a little sad to say goodbye to the Jason franchise because it means that it's no longer out there in the future. That show that we're always going to do, it's done now. It's a little too bad, but I can see the look from Joel's face that he's ready to be done with Friday the 13th.
We'll talk about it next week.
The exact opposite of my feeling. Well, before we say goodbye, we have to say goodbye the worst way possible, much like the franchise did, with a horrible remake brought to us by Michael Bay's production company. I really liked this movie for a long time. This rewatch was not great for me. Has some parts that I like. I like some of the cast. There's a couple of kills that are good. Movie seems really, really determined to be the movie with the most nudity. So I guess good for it. It pulled it off.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray. Otherwise, it just doesn't really feel like a very good Jason movie to me. As much as I like Derek Mears as Jason, it just kind of feels like a ho-hum, kind of crap by the numbers Jason movie. Anybody else? What are your first takes on this thing?
Takes itself way too seriously. Full blown, we're gonna be a serious film with deep, meaningful things. Oh, here's some boobs. It's the whole thing it takes itself way too seriously. Even with the very ending, we know something's going to jump out of the water, and they do a freeze frame of going, oh, this is horrific. It's stop it. Have some fun with it for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Now I can kind of defend that because the first couple movies took themselves, I think, very seriously too.
That's fair.
We've been on a long trip for this series, and we have been for a while on the end of real big camp. So I could see why maybe as an attempt of a reboot or something, they go towards that. They do not do it well. And everything is done 30% extra. Everything is done. We're going to take 30% longer than we need to on this. We're going to linger on some shots that don't add anything of value to it. And you're going to be sitting here wondering why.
It's almost like they're trying to do that. Oh, look, it's artistic because we're holding the shot a little bit longer. Look, we're being artistic. No, you're just not editing enough.
Yeah,
Cut it shorter.
there's a very big misunderstanding of what tension building is. Tension building is not just having nothing happen. Like, that's not tension building. That's just literally nothing is happening. And that happens a lot in this movie. You're just waiting for these fuckers to die. But Ryan, you didn't get to say your piece. What do you feel on it?
I mean, I think it's been said. Like, this is definitely, you look at Michael Bay and Platinum Dunes, and they try to take these movies and hyper sensationalize them, make them a little bit more serious, and it doesn't work. Even Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it was very meh.
That one probably worked the best out of all of them.
It did.
I mean, that's why
But
we
then I
got so
think-
many of them.
Right, and I think what that is with Michael Bay, he tries to stay true to the original. He didn't understand the concept of what Friday the 13th. He just thought it was gore and ass, and that's not it. It's all about the chase with these movies. You don't get much of a chase in this movie at all.
And there's something about the character of Jason, which this movie didn't really try to do much with. As much as Derek Mears is great as Jason, he's a fucking horrifying Jason. Like, he is a very big, scary, aggressive Jason, which I like. Kind of felt like the Jason from 2 a little bit. But even with that, they didn't understand the character of Jason, which I understand is a very tough character to get down. We've actually kind of talked about that a lot throughout this franchise. Some guys get it, some guys don't. Derek gets it, but the director doesn't. So it's kind of this weird like mismatch of like, this could be a really great Jason in a different movie. Like, I'd love to see Derek Mears with a different director. There could have been something really cool there, but
it's got that mid-2000s look to it as well, where everything's a bit washed out. The colors all kind of like, there's not much color in it. It's all very kind of yellow and drab, and
it's a lens flare.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't feel like a Friday the 13th film at all. It feels like, some random serial killer movie that just happens to be wearing a hockey mask when he eventually finds the hockey mask. And we will get to I hate the way he finds that fucking hockey mask. It really
lying there. There it is.
It's not even that. He just removes a cloth and there's light shining and going, oh, on this hockey mask in like an attic somewhere, when there is a sports shed somewhere with hockey sticks on. That would have been a much better place for him to find the mask. That would have made a lot more sense.
He didn't need it then, though. His burlap sack was still intact. So
change it up a bit and have the burlap sack get lost at that point. It's just it irritates every time I see it. It irritates the fuck out of me.
I will say this though, I do really like the burlap sack look on this one. Like,
yes,
that's a good look. Like, that's a freaky look. Way better than 2, where it just looks like a potato sack on his head.
I think that has to do
it's more like bandage. It makes me think of like more bandaged.
He also moves so quickly in this that you just get glimpses of it, right? I feel like in 2 you got enough like still shots of him just looking, and everything he's moving so terrifyingly fast that it's just a blur, so you don't get enough of a chance to really see the details.
Yeah.
And the problem with the bullets having 2 is like you linger on it so much that you can see there's only one eye hole, and then immediately you're there going, well, hang on a minute, like
how are you pulling that off?
So yeah, like you have no depth perception at that point.
You're sprinting through the woods. How are you not dead?
Have you not run into 5 trees because you don't know how close they are?
Yeah. I think we should get started in the beginning with this thing. This thing has a long cold intro. Like, we used to make fun of this franchise for having very long previously on. This one just has 23 minutes of a cold intro before we get to credits.
Well, nearly 24. Yeah. It's like 23 minutes 52 seconds before Friday the 13th shows up.
I think like they try to do the summary thing. They do the summary thing, but then they also introduce new characters on top of that. I feel like you got to do one or the other, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up in this situation where it's just like, it's been a long time. Yeah, you probably need the sort of quick recap, so you're not just jumping into this without any context, right? I accept that. But then you did this cast of characters where you really, you did settle in quickly into thinking like, oh, maybe this is the crew, and then quickly you see like it's an accelerated version of an entire Friday the 13th movie within that 20-minute time period. And
in that 20 minutes, like in the 23 in the minutes and whatever seconds, they do the first Friday the 13th film. They get done with that in like 2 minutes 42 seconds. I wrote that down. And then we're into Friday the 13th part 2. And then that's done with by 24 minutes nearly. And then like it's almost like the next one is Friday the 13th part 3. It's so weird, like because you have burlap sack Jason is like kills everyone with a burlap sack mask in
He
those
didn't
20,
kill anyone with a burlap
24
sack.
with the mask.
He does
The
kill someone with a
sack
sleeping
mask.
bag.
That's not a fun sleeping bag kill.
No,
Like, that's not fun like the other ones.
this one's pretty
It's
rough.
like rotisserie
Yeah.
chicken style.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
am I remembering wrong? I don't remember Jason being really big into like the slow law and torture
No, he's not.
side
No,
of things.
No.
I think that's part of my problem with the kills in this entire movie is that they don't feel like Jason kills.
Nope.
Yes, they're visceral. Some of them have that big like snap ow moment. But there's just a lot of times it goes back to the 30% extra where they decide we need to sit on this and watch them slowly crush somebody's head. But it's not going to be a 5-second thing. It's going to be a 30-second thing.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to what Brian was saying as well. Like they didn't understand the character of Jason. Like they took it into oh well, he's going to slowly torture people to this, but he's never really done that. It's almost like there's something living there. I better stop that living.
Yeah.
What can I use for that? Oh, I'll use this. Oh, this works. Oh, this works really well. Oh, let me just see if I can crush this guy's head. Oh wow, I can actually crush this guy's head with my hands. That's amazing.
Yeah, he does not revel in like the throes of death. He just revels in the death of it. So like him taking his time does not really make sense.
He wants
Like,
no foreplay.
literally hanging someone in a sleeping bag over a fire and cooking them. That's not Jason.
No, he would have just killed her. Like
That's like a
And the
Freddy
amount of
Krueger
time-
kill, if anything.
The amount, like, a part of me too is like, you know, Joel had mentioned it doesn't feel like Jason. He used her as bait so he could just catch dude in a bear trap.
yeah. And he does that a few
So-
times in the movie. And it's like
Yeah.
Jason, he doesn't take prisoners. We'll get to that in a second. I hate that. And he doesn't he's not like it felt like the pitch for this movie is like, we got a new Jason. He's smarter this time. And it's like, and then you don't have Jason. Like that's
Because they do it again when the guy gets the axe in the back.
Yep. Uh-huh.
So he's out, you know, smart and doesn't equal torturing. I think that's what they're trying to go for, because in the time that this was made, 2012, torture porn was a big thing. So they're like, oh, we're gonna have Jason torture.
Yeah, and that just doesn't feel like him. The whole like,
No.
he's using when he uses the guy as bait later in the movie, that doesn't work for me at all because it doesn't feel like Jason. Like he wouldn't be using him as bait. He might have thrown the axe and just taken a while to walk over there, but that doesn't mean he was bait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason doesn't, he kills because that's what he knows and that's what he does.
Yeah, you made the
You're on my
mistake of
turf.
entering his land. That's it.
Yeah, there's something more calculating about using someone as bait, which it's not in Jason's wheelhouse. He's not really cold and calculating. He's just, I'll kill you. I'm going to kill you because of this. Like, you know, it kind of feels like we have a Jason who has an underground cave network with all sorts of weird alarms set up as well, which
I think
again,
that was
not Jason.
I think that was a try to answer how does Jason teleport. I think they were like trying to give an answer to
Yeah.
the question. It's a dumb answer, but I think
I'm going to
that's what
say
they're
it's
trying to do.
dumb though. It doesn't
Yeah.
work.
No.
No, there's something that, and then we'll get more into the rest of this movie. But there's something that I usually say with this sort of stuff. Whereas if you're going to take an established character that has like established lore, or I hate the word lore, but like story and like attributes that like people know about that character, and you're going to change it, I'm usually fine with it as long as you build a good movie around it. This one failed on that part, so it makes all those things that I want to see about the character not being there that much more annoying. Had the movie been great, I could forgive all this stuff. It's like, it's Elseworld Jason, whatever.
The
Let's have
story
some
is
fun.
very cliche. They were more focused on the tits and gore, and making sure they could check those boxes than actually giving us a decent story.
Yeah.
The Clay story is what they drive it, but then it's not a good story. Why would Jason take a prisoner? He never has. Regardless of if he looks like his mama,
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Homeboy would have taken her head and then just put it next to his
Yeah.
mother. Like that's how that would have worked out.
Or just
And
would
he
have
doesn't,
swapped.
and she doesn't look like she
No,
just
she doesn't
doesn't
look
look
like her
like
at
his
all.
mum.
No.
She just looks nothing like Nana Visitor, who plays
No.
Jason's mum in this.
Nope.
Major Kira, she is not from Star Trek. I'll stop.
But yeah, so let's kind of get into this thing because we're going to talk about how this movie's determined to put tits in there. It gets right out the door with it. So they're at this. The movie dates itself very early because it's a group of weirdos going to look for a pot, not farm, but like growing patch. Like somebody grew a whole bunch of weed, I guess, and they're gonna go find it.
Yeah,
and sell it.
like people just like grow their weed and then leave it there so anyone can come and steal it from them or something.
I mean, that does
'Cause I get-
happen. That used to happen a lot. I don't think it does anymore, but that used to be a thing in the redwoods apparently. Because it's hard to find it, so you just grow it there, and it would grow very well. Then you go find it later, and hopefully nobody stole it.
Apparently, are you basing that on this movie though?
No. I'm basing that on like when we got pulled over in the redwoods because the cops thought that's what Chewie and I were doing, and it's like, no, we're just trying to get to our
Oh.
campsite. We can't help that it's late. We got here late. We're sorry. Stop pulling us. We got pulled over 4 times on the way into the woods because that's what people thought we were doing. Well, that's how I learned to do it.
And then you went and found the weed after and was like, yeah, fuck you,
Of course we did not. Anyhow, so yeah, they're out looking for their weed, and then they find a great place to camp, and they're out with their friends, so of course there's one tent, so they're gonna all start banging because that's what friends do in the woods, right? I guess
yeah.
my friends weren't that thirsty. We even went camping a few times. I don't think anyone banged, but whatever. So now they find their area, and Jason shows up because they go to Camp Crystal Lake. And he starts picking them off as they're there. One girl decides to flash the guy by the fireside in the most awkward scene in one of these movies. Like, what is she doing? He like,
I mean, my note for that is literally holy fake boobs.
well, I mean,
Chicken's done.
the girl in, was it Freddy vs. Jason?
Yeah.
I think she was worse, but either way, like,
No, these were like they literally just stuck a couple of balls on the front of them.
I don't. I think it's the way she was laying down. I don't want to be too mean to the woman. She didn't. I think
I'm
it
not
was,
being mean to the woman. I'm being mean to whatever surgeon put those in there because
he didn't do her a lot of favors. I'll give you that.
No,
much.
he did
but
not.
I also don't think the camera guy did her any favors either. So I think she's getting it from 2 different angles. But either
it
way,
is proper. It is proper weird. Where she's just like slowly like. It's almost like in her head, like, I don't want to do this, but the director told me to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Like,
what is going on? It's creepy.
It's
actually.
creepy.
The more I think about it, it's just creepy.
And I get that vibe a lot in this movie. But then again, it's Platinum Dunes, so that's not that unsurprising.
Everyone's sweaty as well, which is just weird.
But yeah, so the one guy goes out, he gets kicked out of being there because Jonah from Superstore wants to bang that girl. So he goes out, he finds the weed, and then he gets killed for it by dude. Off screen, of course. First kill of the movie, or I guess second if you count Mrs. Voorhees, is off screen. That's off to a great start there, guys. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, all those off-screen kills, which the series is known for.
I mean, there's been a handful, but I don't feel like that was an
MPA
artistic
edits,
choice.
though.
No, it wasn't an artistic choice. No.
Yeah. And then we have then Jonah and the girl are just banging away in the tent for a long time, talking about Joel's extra 30%. Here we go.
Yeah, it's like it's the tent scene in 9, but with like a more pornographic position, should we say?
Yes. Yep. And with Jonah from Superstore, so bonus.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the quote unquote sleuth final girl of the movie, no idea that was her until the very end of the movie. Which I actually don't mind. We'll get to that at the very end, but I think it was actually a good moment.
Probably the only good thing the script's got going for it is that little surprise twist.
It was a good one. I legitimately did not see it coming the first time in the theaters, but so they're looking at the original Camp Crystal Lake, which I guess is kind of cool that it's there. Like, I like that they included it in some way or another. And this one, they didn't do the whole, like, they kept trying to reopen the camp because they probably wouldn't if the woman had killed that many people. I don't like that Jason just teleports into the floor or runs through his little tunnel. Like, so he's running back and forth between the camp to kill people and his hut to stab someone through a floor. It's a very weird, like, I get the horror element of it, like they're really going very literal of Jason as a shark. Like he literally even had like his machete
Yeah.
looks like a fin coming through the floor. Like
Yeah.
we get it.
Again, it's this obsession with the machete as well. Like I'm like
Yeah.
in this film, he uses that machete all the time, and it's like he doesn't have a favorite weapon. He uses a bunch of different weapons, and that's what made all the other films so interesting. Was the different,
Yeah.
random, unique things, like the giant circular saw, Joel's
Yep.
namesake,
Yep.
Joel's nickname. Like he's always been known as giant circular saw tree cutting.
But you're right. Like somewhere in after the movies were essentially done, so somewhere after part 9, I feel like marketing for Jason material just started putting his hand with a machete in everything, and people kind of assumed that was normal Jason. Whereas if you watch the movies, that is not there. He might kill one person with machete in every movie, but it's usually about one.
Mm.
We're not talking about a great movie here, guys. It's doing what it can. So it rips through his own floor to drag the one guy down. Pretty grisly kill. One of the better
Mhm.
ones, I would say. It's kind of
Yeah.
dumb that he's coming through the floor, but it's one of the better kills. That guy gets messed up.
And that's one of those cringe moments too, when the blade comes up and hits him on his Achilles. You're like, no,
Oh yeah.
no
For me,
more. Just
what was-
take it.
What was worse was when he put his hand to the ground and then he gets his hand too, and it's like, oh, you're just
Yeah.
screwed,
Like,
dude.
But even
Yeah.
then, like as he's getting pulled down, like he's spitting up blood. And it's like this poor dude is getting it, like
Oh yeah,
brutally.
yeah. He's
Mm.
kind
It's
of
that focusing on the pain thing. Like
Yeah.
it's you're like, oh, it's a really painful death. Like we're gonna focus on that side of it rather than before. We've never really focused on the pain of the death. It's
Yeah.
always been like, look at how cool this looks,
Yeah,
and this is just look at how painful this is for
Well,
him.
even Freddy vs. Jason got that. Like you look at the is it Trent in that movie too, or Trey? The go get me a beer,
Yeah.
babe girl, that guy.
Yep.
Like
Oh,
that
yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah.
that one is just like, look, I'm just gonna stab you as many times as possible, fold you in half, and I'm walking out the door. Like this isn't about
Yeah.
the pain. This is about murder, 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 and I'm out. See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Whereas
this
this, it draws it out a little
Yeah.
bit more, and it's just I don't know. It just feels weird. Like I don't know. I think for the first time in a while, like having watched these films, it felt oddly like almost like voyeuristic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're watching these people getting tortured and murdered, and that it made me feel uncomfortable because of that. Like it wasn't I wasn't enjoying watching the kills because it wasn't a fun one. It wasn't a fun kill to watch. It feels really kind of like, ugh, this is uncomfortable. It's like
And this really goes back to what Ryan mentioned earlier, that this was the time of horror movies where that's what they were pumping out. For better or worse, that's what people were going to see.
Worse.
Definitely for worse. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what people were going to see. Like I don't really turn on, but if a horror movie is considered torture porn, I don't really watch it anymore. Even like the most recent Saw, which I've heard is very good, but I still just like, even Ryan says
Watch
it's
it.
good.
Watch
And I-
it.
Mm.
And I
It
have,
is more character driven than you might think.
Now,
I mean, I
now
am
this-
quarantined right now. It's not like I don't have any other thing to do.
You got time.
now this
None of it
particular
time.
this particular kill was the guy from Entourage. Is that the one we're talking
Yeah.
about?
Mhm.
Okay. I agree. All these things linger too long again. There's something that was really unsettling to me about like that point where Mel was talking about like he's being dragged down while being stabbed voraciously, where he's begging for help, and then he turns and says, like, run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe that might be a trick that happens in other movies too, but like that switch I found like really unsettling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, that one's the guy sells it well, which is good. And then Whitney runs away. She runs back to the camp where she finds that horror scene going on. There's the dead girl next to the fire. The weed guy isn't back. He's still out by the weed dead. Jonah's sitting there trying to deal with his bear trap leg. She's freaking out, and then Jason appears again, buries a machete into Jonah's face. Nice and deep, very classic Jason kill, like that one.
Yeah.
We
And
don't
that's
get a lot of
like,
them.
There's a
That-
little bit of realism to this one because the dude's eyes, when like they go up, like
Oh yeah,
That's like that's
Yeah.
that's like at least it's realistic,
yeah.
you know. But again, like this is Jason. We're expecting some inventiveness, and we're not getting it.
No. But then she starts crawling away, pleading for her life, and smash cut to black. And
Friday the 13th.
yeah, me in the theater is like, he didn't kill her. this is not a good Jason movie, and I'm just getting mad. Like, there's no way he killed her. I know. I've seen movies. Damn it.
Like Walking Dead, if they're not shown dead, they're not dead.
Yep. Yeah, pretty annoyed by that last part, but it's gonna be okay because now we're gonna meet a whole new group of people. And if you thought the first group of people we met sucked, wait till you meet Trent.
It's like there is nothing
I
redeemable
hate
about
Trent.
Trent. Nothing.
He has got the most punchable face I've seen
Stupendous.
in a long time.
Like, I just go back
If that actor is ever at like a comic convention or anything like that, I really hope that someone asks him, how the hell did you keep a straight face with some of the dialogue you had to say in Friday the 13th?
Especially during your sex scene.
but
Like,
not just the sex
Yow!
scene. Like, the sex scene is insane, but not just the sex scene.
Yeah.
So much of his lines is like, we need you to be peak asshole. Like, you could not be more of an asshole than you are in this scene until the next scene, and then you're gonna be worse. But like,
Yeah.
that is his whole character. You are the
I mean, he's
worst.
starting at 100% arsehole
Yeah.
and somehow gets worse. It's like, he's ruined the percentage scale because he's already at 100%, and then by the end of the film, he's at like 1,000%. Physically impossible, but he manages to do it somehow.
Yeah, Trent sucks. It really makes me think of Frisky Dingo of like, meet Trent. I got termites. Like, but yeah,
Oh, God.
I've watched with all of you every one of these Friday the 13th movies, and in every one of them, including part 5, I go, I get why these people are friends. I don't get it in this movie. Why anyone is friends with anyone, why the Bree is friends with anyone there doesn't make sense. She's just hot girl with a camera. Why Trent is dating anyone, I don't get why anyone would give him the time. Why Killer Frost is with Trent doesn't make sense. Why those other two guys are there? Who are they friends with?
Money.
I
His money.
I was just gonna say, I got the feeling that they all hung around with Trent at college or university or wherever the fuck they are because he's the rich kid. So they hang out with him, and he acts like the big man, throws his mummies and daddy's money around and stuff like that to act like the big guy, and you don't have to really pay for stuff. And then he's going like, yeah, come over to my dad's hunting lodge. It'd be a really awesome weekend. And then like they go out there, and then they get there, and it's like, yeah, this is really cool. And then he turns onto like super like, dude, no, don't do that, don't do that, because all of a sudden he's in his dad's lodge. And you get the gear that, like, if he leaves a mess, his dad will fucking murder him.
So, from what you're telling me is, I feel like hanging out with Trent would be like hanging out with Eric Trump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Put that on there for the TikTok.
I think
reel.
Trent might be slightly worse than Eric Trump, though.
I mean, I don't know. That'd be tough to be worse.
I mean,
He's
you
such
did
a
watch
dick.
this film, though, right?
But Van Winkle, Travis Van Winkle, it's Travis Van Winkle, right?
Yeah.
The guy from Supernatural,
Dude.
right?
Dude,
No, that's Jared Padalecki.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
plays Jared Padalecki. Travis Van Winkle kills it. Like, he understood the assignment.
Yeah.
Like, he knew, and he just milked it, and thank God, because you want that person to be unlikable, and he nailed it.
Honestly,
He's a decent actor. So I've seen him in other stuff.
I was
He's in a
saying we
series called
should
The Last
see him
Ship.
elsewhere. Like, he's good. Like,
Well,
Yeah, he's
And
in a series called The Last Ship, which is actually quite good. Well, the first 3 seasons are quite good, and then it gets a bit stupid. But it's a
you
good
two
show,
watch
and
the
he's in
exact
that.
same stuff.
Yeah. I
Me
read
and you
somewhere
have
that
great
him,
taste.
I read somewhere that him and Juliet, well, we'll get into that. We'll talk.
But yeah, sorry. I clearly I wanted to jump to the guy from Supernatural. His name again? Sorry.
Jared
Padalecki.
Padalecki, yeah.
But it's Clay in this.
Clay.
Clay?
Yeah, I just called him Sam Winchester in my
That's
notes.
He's
whatever.
Clay.
I like Clay.
My first note is Sam Winchester looking for his sister. Where's Dean?
I've always liked this actor, actually, like both of them, and I feel like Supernatural
good.
kind of ate their careers, which is too bad. But I like Clay in this movie. I don't think he's a bad character. I like his story. I think it works, especially for like a Platinum Dunes style horror movie. He just gets dragged down by the rest of the cast. Like, as soon as he's around Trent, it's just like, what is this dick measuring contest? Like, I get it, he's a dick, but like the way they make Clay, it's like, why does he engage with him? He doesn't feel like the type that
Yeah.
would to me. It just kind of feels out of place.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, you gotta
and
have
they,
that confrontation, but
I mean, they try to make the logic of it, but it's too big of a leap
yeah,
for,
I mean,
for it to be believable.
they just
They're
made
trying to
Trent
make logic
so
out of
bad.
illogical action, though. That's the thing. Like, you know, the sort of like the way that Clay is when Trent's around, it seems completely opposite to what he's like all the other time. Like, you know, people don't do that in real life.
No, that's,
Like, if someone's
dogs
getting
do
really
that. Like,
yeah. Like, if you know, realistically, what Clay would have done when Trent like started acting, was like, it'd just been like, yeah, whatever. I'm looking at my sister. Fuck you. I'm just going. Oh, there's
Yeah.
a guy who's trying to kill us. You know, you want to play Billy Big Bullets? Fine, go do it outside with the big killer. I'm trying to
Mhm.
save everyone's lives. Fuckhead. You know, it's just he wouldn't start doing that kind of like, yeah, well, let's go, motherfucker, kind of thing
Yeah.
that it almost does. It's like it feels almost like a complete
you know,
switch
he's
of the
doing
character.
it because he's got friends. Clay is entering his house.
yeah,
And you know he's got Chewie, and I forget the other guy's name. It's Chewie, right?
yeah.
So he knows that he's got backup. So he's being classic douchebag dick material.
I mean, that's what he thinks, but I don't think anyone would actually ever back him up because it's Trent, and Trent sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that his friends would sit back and watch him get his ass beat.
Yeah.
And
really
laugh
do.
about it.
Yeah.
Oh, he earned that one. Yeah, he sure did.
I think they would literally just watch it happen and then like laugh about it and then start putting bets on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get broken. $50 on I'm getting broken.
But I do like that the character Clay gets us to see a little bit more of the surrounding area because he's
Mhm.
gonna go look for his sister. So we get to see some of those characters that we got like in those mid Friday 13th movies, like the crazy rednecks who live near.
I'm gonna say we get
campus life.
Eli Roth rednecks again.
Yeah, but like I kind of like these ones, even like the horrible, like the idiot guy by the wood chipper, who's trying to sell weed, who licks his porn, which is
Gross.
super
So bad.
super gross.
That's not the worst thing he does when he starts molesting that poor innocent mannequin.
That he says took his virginity.
Yes.
Yep.
That's a line in this movie, folks. The doozy.
It's probably Joel's favorite.
Of course it is.
I'm thinking about that like, practicality wise as well. That sounds painful to me.
It
Like,
does.
a mannequin took your virginity. Like, even if you're cutting a hole in that, there's going to be sharp edges.
Yeah, I don't need to know details. Is what we're gonna go with.
Well, we're about to learn.
I will like beyond. I can't say beyond the actual licking because that was definitely the worst part. But like it took me by surprise. You see a full spread
Oh yeah,
of
like
a
I said,
naked woman too.
this
yeah.
movie's determined to have the most nudity in it. It's like, good lord, I know it's just a picture, but come on.
Produced by Michael Bay.
Yep. Anyhow, he's about to die, so he gets killed. It was okay.
This
Oh.
kill, like if this was the only Machete kill, I'd have been fine with it
Yeah.
because just Derek, the way Derek Myers sells it is
Yeah.
awesome. The way he wrenches his arm back and just goes full swing, like dude, like perfect. But I mean, we've already got how many Machete kills at this point?
Too many.
Two?
Yeah,
Well,
and
two. So
the one good thing I will give you about this one, it's probably the best one in the movie, is I love that like it happens a few times throughout the franchise, and it gets it here of that laser accuracy. Jason could go to lop his head off, but he doesn't. He goes to slash his throat. And it
makes
doesn't
him
feel like
suffer.
a
again torture porn.
It doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels like that's what he's aiming for. And
Yes.
it's like, oh yeah, he's good.
Because he stands and kind of watches as well.
Yeah, and that's
It
one of
just
the
that-
guys that feel like Jason. He'd move right past him.
Yeah, because
he knows he's dead.
It's well, this is the thing. It's almost like Michael Myers, because I swear
Yeah.
to God, he does the head tilt
Mhm.
as well,
Yeah.
like going, oh, look
But,
what
like,
I did.
But like, go back to Jason in 3, where he harpoons the woman from a mile away. It's just like, thunk. All right,
Mhm.
see you later. It's like he's not gonna watch
Yeah.
him around. Like he's like, I got her. I know I got her. I'm good.
It's almost it's that thing of like, I wonder if this would. Oh yeah, it worked. Right,
Yep.
on to
Yeah,
the
right.
next one.
Moving on, and this guy, this Jason does not have the moving on. Like he doesn't have that, like that added bit of character, which is like one of my favorite things about Jason. Is like, all right, murdered you, drop. There's got to be something else with the pulse around here, and this does not happen here, which is kind of too bad.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so that guy's dead. And really the rest of the movie is just we're gonna put people in scenes until they die. We have we hired this model to be in this movie. She agreed to be topless, and she likes wakeboarding. So let's do some topless wakeboarding. Yay!
She's a singer, isn't
Yep.
it? Isn't Willa Ford a singer too?
I thought she was just a model. Is she a singer too?
She had a one-hit wonder.
Oh, good for her. I've actually heard she's really cool, so good for her. She clearly had fun in this movie. She might have been the only person other than Jason having fun because her character's ridiculous. She gets to go wakeboarding. The topless wakeboarding is funny. Like I'm like, I get it. Like this one
Well,
is
and the driver.
I think
he's
Michael Bay
on-
had fun behind the
Yeah.
camera, watching all the naked, and just going, "Oh yeah."
But that's the closest thing to lighthearted they get in this
Yes.
entire movie too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even her
Um,
death's a bit lighthearted. Like her death for me is one of the more humorous ones, just from the
This-
sound design. Of like the
that
the
was
blade goes through,
Yeah.
lifts her up, and it just like that thunk,
Thunk.
and then
then
just
like, I
slowly
think-
go back down.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this group, like this pair, is the pair that people can relate to. Like they know who Trent is. Like when he goes, is it bad that when he said not to take my boat out, like I immediately went to take his boat out? Like
yeah.
I'm right with you there, dude.
Yeah.
So
I love when he said, what does it mean?" Like, and then she goes, "It means you're a sociopath." But I dig it.
But like, I don't think either one of those actors are bad. I think they both sell their roles very well.
He's
And
on,
his death scene is good. Like, I love the arrow through the head. It's super dumb,
Yeah.
but like
the look on his face, though, he sold it. He's like,
Huh?
"Whoa." It was great. He was on Two Broke Girls. That's like, he
Okay,
was,
yeah.
yeah. So he was
And
on. Two-
what I'm loving
He-
about this is that there's just so many of these actors who in this film where it's like they go on to do something else. Like we have Jonah from Superstore,
Yeah.
we have Jared Padalecki in Supernatural, we have Travis Van Winkle in Don't Last Shit, we have this dude in Two Broke Girls. It's
We have
like
Killer
it's almost
Frost.
like, yeah, exactly. We have
Killer Frost.
who goes into the Flash.
Yeah,
You
like-
know, it's just like a who's who of like you're going to be in something better.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
This casting director was on point. Like they were grabbing
Yeah.
some good people. But yeah, the death scene, the
Ending up in this
wakeboarding, I
shitty
actually,
movie.
the real shitty movie. Like I like the wakeboarding scene. I think that's kind of the only fun scene. Like I even like it's dumb, but earlier you see like the archery trophy in Jason's hut, and then later in the movie, a guy gets shot in the head. It's like, he was good at archery.
Like, what I like about that is you do see Jason with the bow and arrow as
Yeah.
well. Like, well, with the bow, not the
Yeah.
arrow, and just kind of like looking at it, going, "Oh shit, I did hit him."
Yeah, I got him. How about that? And I gotta say, her death, I remember that in the theater getting a huge laugh.
Yeah.
Like when he pulls her out of the water, like
It's the thunk.
the
Like,
thunk
just
of
that
him getting his
noise.
machete out of her head. Yeah,
Mhm.
that got a laugh.
It's the only one in this film I think which is like even slightly entertaining. I can't think of any of the others where it's like, oh, I'm laughing at this one because it's actually kind of fun.
Yeah, and it's a weird thing it's a hard thing to pull off in horror movies. Like I always think about the Evil Dead remake that Fede Alvarez did. And like the bath scene, like where the girl's like has like the thing and she's cutting through her cheek and it's super fucked
Yeah.
up. I saw that at Comic-Con. Like they showed us that whole scene. Bruce Campbell was there and it ended and people were like laughing and giggling. And he's like, see, that's what we want from this movie.
That's
It's
what you want.
horrifying, but it's an energy. And it's like they nailed it. They got it right in one scene in this movie. The wakeboarding scene
Mm.
got that sort of like it's super violent and it's horrible watching these people die, but it's like that crackling sort of fun energy. And I'm glad they got it in one scene because the rest of the movie is well, we got to talk about the rest of it, but it's
The rest of the movie is a movie.
yeah.
Question mark.
So my notes really kind of fall apart after this one, but basically after this, everyone just kind of starts dying. Clay shows up at the house. He gets into a fight with Trent for some reason, so he and Killer Frost go out to go look for his sister elsewhere. Meanwhile, Jason starts picking them off at the house. Kinda like he gets
Well,
chewed-
there's the bit
No, it's
where
the sex scene. And that's when Whitney escapes.
Oh,
When-
that's
So they go to Camp Crystal Lake, and then that's when Whitney's like, "Help! Help!"
right.
well they see Jason coming with like a headless corpse or something.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
they
Like,
see the body, yeah.
they're hiding under there and like
I imagine it's the speedboat kill.
yes, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure it's one of those two. Yeah,
Yeah. Don't know why the head's been cut off though.
why not?
You know,
Mm.
torture.
It can't be the woman because don't they find her body later on?
Oh yeah, so it must be the dudes. Maybe
Yeah.
wanted Zero back, or maybe just wanted a trophy. I don't know.
Maybe it's the magazine licking dude.
Oh, that could be.
Oh yeah, could be.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
knows?
But either way, so they stumble upon that, and that's when they run back, and that's when Trent and Bree go at it.
Yeah, and do they go at it? They just continue. They 4 times. I think the movie cuts back to them fucking. I think it's
Yeah.
4 times.
Yeah, about that. I kept
Yeah.
every time we kept cutting back, I was like going, Jesus, this is still going on.
Like it's going on. Like and the movie just kind of throws story out the fucking window in favor of
Mhm.
seeing this actress naked. Like they have the guy's girlfriend outside being like, "Come on outside," and he's like, "I'm busy in here," and it's like this is the weirdest.
She was
Yeah,
she was in-
that was not realistic at all.
No, like it's just
no.
like what is like this movie just clearly wants to see her naked more. Great, I guess, but like what?
and that's what got cut out because it shows Whitney when Whitney escapes, like she's running up to the window where they're having sex, and Jason intercepts her.
Yeah,
right there.
Still doesn't make any sense. Like
No.
And then he still doesn't kill her. Like this is the thing, like her getting out and running through the woods and all that, it just feels pointless. There is literally no point to it because all that happens is she ends up back in that same cage again. It's just this is the problem with the film. I think is you have these pointless things that don't really go anywhere because it just takes you back to where they were at the beginning anyway, and it just feels like, oh, we're just doing this to pad out the runtime a bit more.
Yeah, and it's just this whole sequence is just so muddled, and it's muddled because it's trying to follow the formula. You've got Clay and I forget her name off at Camp Crystal Lake discovering everything and going to bring it back. But at this point, Chewie and the other guy, they're messing around. He breaks something. Chewie goes to the garage. The other guy's going to attempt to masturbate to Better Homes and Garden.
in the living room.
in the living room, with all these big windows, and then Bree and Trent are off doing that. And so it's very, and Whitney's escaping. So it's very scattered. This movie felt very disjointed. I felt like they were just clicking boxes to click boxes of horror movie cliches.
Yeah, and it doesn't work. Like it just does not. Like it's awkward. Like as a viewer, even at home watching this quarantine in the room by myself, it's awkward how much that sex scene goes on. Like I'm just like, okay. It's awkward watching the dude try to jerk it in the living room. Like that just doesn't feel. I don't care how high you are, specifically on weed. Like that's not gonna happen. Like you're not that stoned on weed. Like you're just not. So that doesn't work.
Unless he's just a giant pervert in general and he gets off on being caught. But the weed wouldn't make him do that.
Yes, that's a way to take it.
I'm giving the movie a little bit of rope here.
Right,
It's hanging itself with it. Like,
a lot of these movies try to have a sort of pathetic loser that once everybody splits off, he's just sort of the guy holding the badge, so to speak.
Like Ted, like Ted in 4.
Yeah, I didn't know that I believed his patheticness. I think that's the problem.
It's forced. It's too forced. I think a lot of the patheticness is really forced
because he wasn't pathetic until he was alone.
Yeah,
right.
And also the magazine bit, like it seems like it's kind of something that like a really bad like movie might do. The whole like, you have to whack it to the Sears catalog. It's
like someone in an American Pie film.
Yeah,
we're not in a horror film anymore. We're now in American Pie.
Yeah,
not even one of the good ones as well. Like one of the straight to video American Pies they did.
Yeah, Anyhow, so while this is going on, Chewie is down in the garage and he gets fucking murdered. His death isn't the worst. I mean, he had probably the worst of the what I talked about earlier. There's just nothing happening. This is the tension building of him just fucking around the garage for a while. Like they cut back to that
again. It just feels like padding.
Yeah, super boring. But his death was pretty good. Like I liked the whole like he turns around and sees Jason. He offers him the hockey stick. Like, hey man, you
I like
for
that
this?
Because it completes your outfit.
Yeah,
I do like that.
That was good. And then another very slow kill, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but it this one made more sense because he was fighting back, I guess. Kind of like I was gonna give it kind of like the girl in 8, but even that one was a little bit more fast. Like that one where I'm talking about the very beginning on the boat where he just kind of pokes her in the when she's hiding in
Yeah.
that little hole. But this one still just
Mm.
didn't feel like Jason. Again, kind of a bummer. And then
I think it's a screwdriver as well. Like just
Yeah.
like slowly pushing a screwdriver through his neck, and it's just like, that doesn't feel like
Jason
it.
would have shoved it real quick and just
Yeah.
left him there pinned. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like probably pinned to the wall. Just like is push it so hard, he got him all the way to the wall, and there he stays.
It's like even the ice pick in Allison 2 went in faster than this screwdriver
Yeah.
does. And like, I'm sorry, you can't slowly stab someone with a screwdriver like that. It's not sharp enough.
But this is
Like-
Jason, so I'll give him that much.
I mean, I
Keep pushing till it works.
guess.
Oh,
But it, like the movie's trying to make out that Chewie is holding him back because that's why it's slowly going in.
Yeah, I
So
guess,
it's
yeah.
like it's that thing of like there's a weird it's just weird. It's just a weird kill. Like it doesn't feel like you want to do a slow push in and make it really gruesome. Go through the eye. It's like soft and gooey.
I mean, the cop gets in the eye later.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
but
someone
really fast.
Yeah, really fast. That one feels way more Jason.
Yeah. I did like that kill, to be fair.
Yeah. So now Killer Frost and Clay show up and like, hey, there's somebody out here trying to kill us, and Trent gets really, really angry post orgasm. Killer Frost should have taken note. He was not a good boyfriend. So he gets super pissed.
I don't know anyone who gets angry post orgasm.
Oh, Trent?
Like you should be happy.
Trent. It's all about Trent. Jason gets in the house somehow. He kills
we have the shot.
window
He's
upstairs.
standing on the roof, right? He's standing on the roof and looking down, like doing his Batman impersonation.
Yeah, like sure, I guess.
And then there's a window open.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not?
That's where Bree goes.
That was a small window, though. Like,
and Derek is
Jason's
a big dude.
dude.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest Jason we've had.
Yeah, he's a big one, but it works. Kills Bree, shoves her on the most randomly placed like antlers on the wall ever.
Yeah.
Like that even felt like Jason critiquing on the design of the place. Like, that's a weird place for antlers. Thunk.
That's a weird place for antlers. Here, have a dead body instead.
Yep. I also love that they don't really shine a light on. It's actually one of the better, like one of the very few subtle things in this movie is Trent shoots her later, like shoots her like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then he opens the door and goes, Jason killed her.
Yeah, Trent with that gun is like, there's always that thing where he always says like, why didn't you like, you go into the woods and bring a gun, and then it's like you have this dude who will just shoot at anything. And it's like, oh, that's why you don't bring a gun.
The most realistic depiction of an idiot with a gun in a panic situation in any movie. Trent just screams and shoots at everything.
Yeah.
Well, and then when he sees the shoes in the closet, he's like, ah!
And then when he's running away and he drops the gun, he talks to the gun like it's a person. Where'd you go, gun?
I'm having it going, hey, Gunny, come here, come back to Trent, please.
Seriously, Trent sucks.
Yeah,
Which leads to his death, and so well warranted.
I think he should
if
have gotten
anything,
it
he
worse.
didn't.
I think it should have
he
happened
should-
sooner.
Yeah, sooner he should have gotten it worse. Although
You're telling me
Sooner
having a
and
machete
longer.
and then Jason taking the 2 ends that are sticking out of you and lifting you up with it,
I guess it's pretty bad. And I do
and then
love him
getting thrown onto the back of a truck with a bunch
That's-
of poles sticking out.
That's
Yeah.
the best part. The truck, and then the truck driving away with the corpse on the back of it. That's
That guy is the staple
and the
of
di-
Michael Bay. That's the guy that was the
The
legless
guy
guy.
in the truck, like trying to start
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
The truck
That
driver's
guy's-
like, oh shit, that guy got murdered. I'm out of here.
Uh-huh.
He's a staple in Michael Bay movies. He's the
Oh,
guy
is
that
he?
had his legs cut off in the new Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, I think that death was pretty bad. The fact that he lifted him off the ground with the machete and was like jerking him up and down.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I expected more.
But then again, that's tortury.
Yeah.
Not
So-
enough for Trent. Like Trent is the person I'm happy to watch get tortured to death.
Yeah, Trent, I
Right.
want to see folded in half, or I want to see it like the
Slowly.
the
Slowly
Voorhees,
folded in
like
half.
special of like a thing through the neck, like something like that's what I want for Trent. But oh well. He's still dead. And now we have to finish this movie where we have to go find the final girl, I guess, which is Whitney, not Killer Frost. As they're running away, they
Yeah.
find Whitney, they're climbing through his tunnels, and then Killer Frost just goes, just a machete through the
She
chest.
gone.
No.
And kudos to this movie because
Yeah.
you think that she is going to be the final girl.
Of course.
Yeah.
And this is where it kind of turns it, but like she's with Clay, you think that it's going to be her. Clay goes first through the hole, which was like, oh,
Very George Costanza of him.
yep, very no ladies first here. His sister gets out, and then lastly is Killer Frost, and man, she gets it. You're like, oh, this is different. But I
Yep.
guess it makes sense to make Whitney the final girl after all the trauma that she endured in captivity.
Yeah, but since we didn't spend any time with her, really, it still just
Right.
kind of feels like, where's my final girl? Like now
Right.
we just don't
Yeah.
have one.
Yep.
It just like it feels like the final girl we're given we don't give a shit about because we don't know much about her.
Not that we knew anything about Killer Frost. I don't even remember her name.
We spent more time with her though.
Yeah.
We
Right.
got to know her as a person, is what I mean. Like, you got to know her personality.
Yeah.
Because with Whitney, we don't. We keep just getting told this by Sam Winchester. Like
Yeah.
he keeps talking about what his sister was doing and stuff like that. Never mentioned his brother Dean. It's just very rude. I
It's
think.
very rude. Yeah.
Then again, I think if Dean would have been in this film, it would have gone a little different way because he'd have had enough guns and weapons that, like, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Jason's beaten weapons before.
Yeah, but have you seen the back of that Impala? What's
I mean,
in
that's
that?
true. That's true. That's
the
true.
trunk. They've got everything.
And then we're basically done, right? We have one more pop-up scare at the end of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, the showdown in the bar.
It's just a stupid.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah, there's
I guess there's a showdown. I've kind of tuned it out every time I've watched this movie. By the time I get there, I just don't
anticlimactic.
care. It's like, oh, he's
Yeah.
going to the wood chipper, or I guess he's not. He's just gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna
We're just gonna trim his hair a little bit off, a little off the top,
just the tip.
just enough to keep him alive so he can pop up through the deck later.
Which makes no sense when he does pop up through the deck because you see the mask goes down separately and you see that the strap that holds the mask on his head is all eaten up to shit as well.
Yep.
So that's not going to be holding up. And then he comes out with the mask on again. Like, what did he do? Repair the strap underwater?
Yeah, that's why it took
Yes.
him a while to pop out. He's down there just sewing really quick.
It's like, God damn it.
Uh,
I like this mask. This one
Yeah.
actually works better than that stupid rags I had wrapped around my face before.
Look, he has a lot of spare time in the woods. You can only shoot at targets so much. You need to have like that calming, meditative experience of
yes. Yeah.
crochet.
All right.
Oh god, I'm just picturing Jason doing crochet now.
I mean, what else does he do at this time? Why not? I mean, clearly this movie is trying to say he's a hunter. I get that before anyone gets really mad that we never said it. I get it. He's supposed to be a hunter, so he has hunting techniques. I get it. It didn't work.
Didn't work at all.
Nope. All right.
Movie
so
can tell us that he's a hunter all at once. You're not really showing it very well.
Nope. He sucks at hunting. Anyhow, should we move into our quotes, moments, kills, whatever you got on this one?
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like everyone's got the same quote.
Yeah?
I'm not saying any of his quotes.
I'm not either.
I'm just
I'll go first. Chewie, when we first are introduced to Chewie and he's in the back of the truck, my favorite quote is, he goes, "Oh my God, babies have more space in the uterus." Like right then and there, I knew I was going to like this guy. He was super funny. And then my favorite kill, I think, would be the police with the fire poker through the head and making a nice door ornament.
that's a good one.
It's a very Jason kill. It's one of the very few that's in there.
So I'm done.
I think for my I don't really have a favorite quote. I don't think this movie's super quotable, but I think the one that's always stuck with me the most because I didn't really never did this. I never really knew anything about it. I love them playing shoot the boot. It's a very stupid thing to put in this movie.
Yeah.
But I do love Chewie running over the shoe like you gotta shoot the boot. It's like it's very, very proud of the moment. So I enjoyed that.
And then Trent being like, "No, fuck you. I'm not doing that.
of course.
Yeah."
Bree
asshole.
saying no, I get it. She even said I carried you that whole game. So it was not
Yeah.
her boot to shoot, but Trent should have done it. My favorite kill, though, that's I guess it's kind of tough in this. Um, I like the way Jason moves, so I guess I'll give it to the weed guy. It's not my favorite to do a machete throat slash, but he looks really scary while slashing his throat, and I like his physicality. So
It's
I guess
just
I'll give it to that one. Yeah,
grabbing the machete, pulling
Yeah.
it out, and just whoom.
Whoop. Like
Yeah.
it's
One fluid motion.
yeah, it's kind of like when he does the triple head slice in 6, but
Yeah.
he just went for a throat slash this time.
Reminds me of like like Ham in the first one. It's like the throat slashings on there. It's like that kind of like, phew, and then all of a sudden the throat starts to open up, and then blood just like comes through. Like
Yeah. Anytime they do the kind of like my throat is slit, but I'm not dead, but
Yep.
I can tell that I'm about to be from
Yeah.
it slowly. It's like that sucks. That really sucks.
especially when you get actors who all really sell the sort of like, oh god, like
Mhm.
element of that as well.
Right.
Who's next? Matt or Joel?
I'll
I
go.
Oh,
okay.
Joel, go.
All right. My favorite kill is Trent.
Yeah, I'm
It's- I like
You watched the
and-
killer
and
cut, right?
I think so. Why?
Did you watch? Was it the longer sex scene?
No, I said
The
kill.
sex scene is not that much longer in the R-rated cut because I
I
watched the R-rated
it
cut this
is.
time. I watched the
wouldn't know
R-rated
any
cut
better
this
because
time.
I've only seen one of them.
My killer cut was in a different room, so I had to watch the version that was on Apple TV, which is just the R-rated cut. And I got to tell you, not that much longer. Like that whole thing is there. The only difference is that Whitney doesn't escape in the R-rated cut, so you get a little bit less of them at the window. But
So Joel, did Trent get lifted up off the ground?
I think so.
Then you watched the killer cut.
Okay. All right. But something about like number one, the kill is satisfying. But two, he's driving away like his body's flopping like a dummy, very clearly. So it was kind of silly. So many quotes, right?
There really are.
Your tits are fucking just so juicy, dude.
TikTok that, please.
well, I can't do that to Joel.
I would.
Oh man, Pod Daddy has spoken.
Like,
Look, my dame's not that hot, but I mean, like, I'm not calling anybody dude.
no. Here's the thing. Think about being either Trent Van Winkler or what the fuck his name is, the guy who played Trent, or Juliana Gill, and reading the script knowing these are the characters you're playing, and just have her going like, well, thank God I do have good boobs because this guy's gonna talk a shitload about him. Like that'd be a very awkward script read.
I think it'll be a very awkward casting session. We need to check out your boobs.
I mean,
No, they're not good enough.
I'm not going down
Because
that
Michael
road.
Bay just sitting in the back.
Hollywood's a gross place, so
Michael Bay just sitting in the background in the shadows, smoking a cigarette, going, "Show us the boobs. Show us the boobs."
Again, would not surprise me. Anyhow, Joel, what's your favorite kill? Oh, you said Trent, and then what was your quote? Was the tits your
Trent
juicy,
and Trent.
Yeah, juicy tits. Got it. Is that everybody? I had to step
No,
away.
I haven't been yet. I'm gonna cheat and do two quotes because like we gotta mention you've got perfect nipple placement, baby. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like what? Why would that? Anyway, but my actual quote is Chewy, and it's when he's going down to get the stuff to repair the chair, and I just love the way that he just mocks Trent big time. It's like, "Hi, my name is Trent. My daddy bent me over this chair and beat me when I was little, so you need to fix it."
That's a good
so
one.
good.
That's good. That's good.
And my kill is the machete through the head and like lifting her up on banging her head on the jet. It's just down to the sound design of that, just that thunk splash.
Yeah, that's a solid.
He's one of the few kills in this film which felt like Friday the 13th kills because it's got that. Yeah, it's gruesome, but it's also there's a little bit of humor in there with the sound of like the thunk.
Yeah.
Well, and like the nudity too is there for the nudity, or the nudity there is for the humor.
Oh yeah,
Not
for sure.
like not the gratuitousness of a sex scene. This is for humor.
All right. I think we've said what we can say on this movie. Not my favorite one, guys. I don't know how much I'm gonna go back to this one in my later Friday 13th rewatches. When I do all of them, I will watch it again because that's how I've kind of come about it. But when I pick one off the shelf, I don't think this is one I'm grabbing.
You don't
I don't
wanna
think
see
I'd
Brenda's
ever
boobs?
pick this one off the shelf.
No.
I don't. I think my Blu-ray from the Shout Factory collection
Yeah.
I got from I think it will remain unwatched again for the rest of its life. I
Like-
don't feel like I'll ever go back to this one.
Every now and then I get an inkling to watch 5 and 9. So I will put those on, but I've never really like, I want to watch the remake again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I think
that's
it comes
just-
down to the fact that like one of the things we've been saying is it just doesn't feel like a Friday the 13th film. At least 5 and 9 have enough in there that it feels like a Friday the 13th film.
9
good
really
one.
skirts that line, but yeah, it'll give it just the edge.
I mean, at least 9's got Kane Hodder in it.
But for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's it. I think we should say goodbye. We should do our plugs. I've got nothing to plug because my throat hurts, so I'm going to talk a little bit less. Joel, what you plugging?
Afterthoughts podcast is part of ATH Network. We read books and talk about them. Super GG Radio is a video game podcast. Yeah, listen.
You
I
can
kind of
catch
feel
me
like that
on-
you should have said Super GG Radio and then done like that to the little sign behind you.
there. That,
Now
there's
it's kind of like a
TikTok.
dab a little bit. Like
You're
They just
covering
like
the sign. You can catch me on the Front Row Network, where I do a lot of different things. Front Row Flashbacks is my main channel, where we talk about movies from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. But it is award season, so you can catch me on the main thread talking about all things awards. It's award season. We just did our SAG nominee reaction, so check it out.
Very fun. And Matt, nothing to plug right now?
Nah.
Perfect. All right, thank you everyone
This
so
film
much.
doesn't deserve my plugs.
Well, thank you everyone so much for listening. This has been the end of the Friday 13th movies. So be sure to tune in next week when we do our big wrap-up episode. We have a lot to cover. I'm going to do it as quickly as we can, as we always try, but there's quite a few things on this list because there's quite a few movies. So we got to talk about a bunch. That's it.
Bye.
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 Bye, 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 bye.
Bye.
No, you're not getting a chi because this film didn't even do it, I don't think.
There's been a few times.
Barely.